how do you like being made wrong? Are you ever interacting with someone and they have the point of view that you're wrong and they have to get you to get how wrong you are? Because if only you will be as wrong as you really are, then everything will, then there would be no problem, right? So, not the happiest place to be, when you feel like somebody's making you wrong, or sometimes it's yourself, you're making yourself wrong. Like, oh, I did so terrible there. So let's talk about that. Like, what's available to you when you're feeling made wrong, whether you're doing it to yourself or someone else is doing it to you? Well, one thing is we tend to then go into like resistance and reaction, like, I can't believe they're making me so wrong. And that, you can perceive the fight, right? You're wrong. No, I'm not. So you have that kind of thing. There's also where you align and agree with it. You're so wrong. Yes, you're right. I'm terrible. Also doesn't really create space and ease. So what else is there? Well, one of the things we talk about in access consciousness is allowance. Allowance is, it's being there, being present with what is, with no judgment. So I'm not aligning and agreeing that I'm wrong. I'm not resisting and reacting to I'm wrong. I'm just being there in allowance of it and aware of it. And from that space, like as I'm talking about it, can you feel more space? From that space of allowance, then you can actually start asking questions, use a tool, look at, it's like the possibilities start to pop up. What we so often do is I'm reacting to whatever it is. And what I just described of you're wrong, and whether I go to the no, I'm not, or the yes, I am, I'm reacting. I'm at the effect of that person and their point of view about me. So a different possibility is if I go to action, and I can do that from allowance. So if I'm in allowance of whatever their point of view is about me, like, wow, that's really interesting. I don't have to buy it. I don't have to be that. That's where I can start looking at what action can I take here, or even just what energy can I be that would allow something different to show up. And, I can't tell you like, here's what to say and here's what to do. It's more that shift in the energy where when you notice I'm going into reaction about whatever it is, it's a situation at work, it's, a conversation with my partner, it's the shower started leaking, like whatever it is that you are going into reaction about, taking that moment. And you might be like, okay, so how do I get to allowance? Right now, I'm like ready to kill them. So just pause a moment. You can be aware of the earth, be aware of the room you're in, expand out beyond even where you are now. There's actually many, many tools that can, in that moment, help you be and be present. But even as I'm just talking about it, do you feel more space? Like the knots in your stomach start to go away and there's just more space and ease. And from there, a new idea, something to say. I remember the very first time, and this was many, many years into our relationship and marriage, but the very first time that my husband and I actually really disagreed about something that we had kind of a fundamentally different point of view about how to move forward on something. And, in the first little bit of the conversation, I definitely went to, oh, if only he'd, be different and have a, how can I get him to see I'm right? He's wrong. And then I stopped and I did exactly what I'm talking about. I took a moment, I got present, and I asked myself a question. I was like, okay, what can I say here that will create something different? Or what question can I ask? Now, unfortunately, I can't remember what I said or what I asked. I just know I asked him a question and the whole thing did a 180. It was like we went from like, we're not agreeing on something, and we'd never done that before. So it's like, this is so uncomfortable. To a space of, oh, we can just both completely look at this differently, and that's okay. And we can choose the actions we're going to take rather than reacting to each other. And we made a choice that was workable for both of us. From me choosing to change the space I was being, not from trying to get him to get it or making him wrong. And if only you could see how wrong you are, because that really doesn't work with people. They just want to defend if you're trying to make them wrong. So I hope this tool helps you today, and what else is possible.